I had a friend, she was a percussionist, she was really scared of flying, terrified of being in a plane. And I'd heard about local witchcraft and juju. They have these people called marabous. Marabous are like local witch doctors. You know, when we had one of these, the first tour with Sarjo was like, oh, can you send me £100 so I can kill a goat and take it to the witch doctor so we can have good luck for the tour? I was like, don't know about that. So I was like, okay, I'd heard about knife protection and accident protection, and Modu, all his family wore this stuff that their grandfather got for them. So I was like, okay, cool. If I can know for 100% certainty that the knife protection works, then I can buy the accident protection for my friend, give it to her, she'll never have to be scared of flying. So I said to my friend Aliyun Gassama, I said, oh, cool. If I can meet someone with a knife protection, try and cut them and not be able to cut them, then I'll know that this is for real and I'll buy the accident one. He was like, sure, no worries. But I think he didn't quite understand what I was saying. So later that night, he turned up and he brought his witch doctor, his marabou, to the house. And he was like, oh, a witch doctor's made you a knife protection talisman belt. And I was like, oh, that's not exactly what I wanted. I just wanted to test it. But anyway, you know, he's here. So I put on this belt, which has this talisman in. And then suddenly the witch doctor gets out his knife and starts sawing away at my arm. I'm like, dude, like, what's going on here? And what they say is, like, when you're wearing this knife protection, you still feel the pain of the knife, but the metal can't pierce your skin. So it works the same for bullets as well. And so Modu and all his friends, you know, they like then take his knife, they're testing out his knife, you know, chopping down some plants, they're like, yeah, this knife is sharp. And he's there cutting away at my arm, and there's no blood. So I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I didn't really want a knife protection belt, but for 20 quid, if this could stop me from ever being stabbed or shot in my life, then it's probably worth it. So I was like, cool, yeah, I'll take the knife protection, proceed with the construction of the accident protection for my friend. But what I really wanted to do, for absolute certainty, and I guess this is my kind of logical mind, what I needed, all I want to do was just wear the knife protection, try and cut myself and not be able to, then take off the knife protection, cut myself and bleed, and then I would know, okay, this works, 100%. So I'm in my room at Modu's house, basically sitting there cutting myself, trying to cut myself, and there's no blood. I'm like, oh. So I'm like, then I go and there's like someone fixing a satellite dish onto the top of the house. I go up and get his work knife, bring it down, I'm sitting in the room trying to cut myself, and I'm like, you know, oh, no blood. I'm like, alright, cool. I'm taking like scissors. Like scissors for cutting nails. Still can't cut myself, and I'm like, alright. I then take a razor, a shaver, pull out the razor, I'm trying to cut myself with that, I'm like, whoa. So I'm like, cool. And at first I'm a bit kind of squeamish, but then I'm like, well, look, if I've got this protection, I can't be cut. So cool. And then I take off the belt and I try and cut myself. I still can't draw blood. I'm like, oh, why not? I'm just trying to cut myself. So I say to the guys in the house, oh, I've taken off this knife protection. I still can't cut myself. And they're like, oh, this is really powerful protection. It's really powerful. So when you take it off, it's still going to last for 2 to 3 hours. And I was like, oh, okay. So I take it off, keep it off for a few hours, wait until the evening, have dinner. Then after the evening, I go down to Matar and Jong's house, the drummer. And if you're interested in studying Senegalese drum kit, then we've got a course with him on the World Music Method site. And I go down to his house, and it's like, there's about 6 or 7 of them in his room just playing PlayStation. And I'm like, alright guys, get your biggest knife and sharpen it. And the guys, it's probably like, I don't know, foot-long knife. There's this dude just sharpening it up on the rocks. I'm like, okay. I'm like, let's do it, come on. Comes up to me, cuts me on my arm. Obviously I bleed. I'm like, cool, thank you. I mean, who knows what these guys must have been thinking, especially the guys who didn't speak English there. They were just thinking, what is this madman doing? Then I put on the belt. I'm like, alright, come on, cut me again. Comes to me, does the same kind of cut. But this time, there's blood. And I'm like, oh. And everyone in the room is like, whoa! They can't believe that me wearing this knife protection, I was able to bleed. I was like, oh, see, it doesn't work. And they were like, no, it does work. You just can't test it. You have to believe. And I was like, no, but I need to believe. I need to know. And they're like, no, you just have to believe. I was like, no, that's not how my brain works. So the next morning, I go back to the witch doctor's hut, and I really give that knife a good sharpen. Cut myself, probably really dig in with the knife as well, just to be sure. And Aliou, my friend there, so I'm like, yeah, don't worry about making the accident protection, but thanks for your time. And Aliou is like, no, even though he's just seen me cut myself with it on, he's like, this is really strong protection, I'll buy it off you for £20. I'm like, fine, no worries. No worries at all. So I'm heading back towards England, determined to be a West African car dealer, and that would be my future, or my present, and that's how they make money. So in the next episode, I'll tell you what happened when I followed through to the best of my abilities with the West African import business scene. It didn't all go to plan, I'll tell you that. So Senegal was great for me. What I learned in those few years musically will stay with me forever. What I learned about the relationship between the bass and the drums means that even if I'm like down at a funk or soul jam session in England, the way I can lock in with people, the way I can anticipate, intuitively feel what they're going to do, it's very unlike how other people understand the instrument and the relationship of groove. So I'm really thankful for everything that taught me, because even if I'm not playing Senegalese music, it's still a part of me. If you want to learn Senegalese bass style, a chapter of the African Bass Masterclass Deluxe was filmed in Senegal with Matar and Jong, Charlie Philly Sissoko, and some other great musicians. So check it out on worldmusicmethod.com. So thank you so much for watching. On drums, the Big Mac. And Newell on guitar.
you.